hello, I'm Kirbys, also known as Kirbys Cornix, and welcome to YACC, yet another Crowcast where I pick a game, I play it for a week, and then I'll talk about it. This week's game is Kirbys Adventure for the Nintendo Entertainment System, and it was published in 1993, developed by HAL Laboratories and published by Nintendo. And also there will be spoilers up ahead, just so you know. But first, a little backstory. So I'm familiar with Kirby through a Game Boy game that my brother had called Kirby's Star Stackers, and also from the Nintendo 64 game Smash Bros. And I think he's a likable character around pink ball, basically. So as you boot up the game, you learn how to draw Kirby. Basically draws him out on screen. So now I know how to draw Kirby. So yeah, sure. And if you wait a bit longer, you get a little tutorial on how to play the game. It's nice. Usually when I play old games, I don't have the box or the manual, so it's nice that the game kind of, a nice little touch that the game actually teach you how to play it. You can always look up the manuals online, but I'm lazy. So the first world is Vegetable Valley, and it's basically a hub world filled with doors. So if you beat a level, some more of the world gets open to you. The first level is just a simple, straightforward cakewalk. So you press the B button to suck things in, like enemies and stuff. And most enemies actually gives you abilities, and that's really cool. So you can get like swords and electricity and all these cool power-ups. So the first stage actually has a secret. It's like a waterfall, and under one of the rocks you can obtain the most OP ability from start. It's the UFO. Kirby turns into a UFO that can shoot lasers and stuff. It was really cool. I didn't know about this until I did some research, and then a minigame opens up if you clear the first level. It's called the Crane Game, and you basically pick up balls with Kirby in, and so you get extra lives if you manage to pick them up, that is. And the second level has a mini boss, which if you beat him, he gives you the ability called Crush, and it's basically a screen nuke. I think you can only use it once, and it takes out all the enemies. And there are other abilities you obtain, like the Cutter, which is basically a sword that throws other swords, if that makes sense. Like maybe like a metal blade, but I think like the Mega Man power blade. And then the sword is just a simple sword, and the spark is an area of effect around Kirby, and the fireball is just a fireball. And there are even more power-up as you go along throughout the game. So there are other power-ups in the games, like soda cans, and I think there are tomatoes with an M on, and they actually restore you to full health. I think Kirby can take like 5 hits before he dies or falls off the screen. So the third level introduces water, and it's kind of a funny thing because when you're underwater and you use the sucking ability, he just squirts out a little water through his mouth, which I thought was cute. There's so many nice and cute details about this, all the abilities and everything, and it's amazing how they fit all this into this little cartridge, because a Nintendo cartridge, like, I don't even know, there's not even like a megabyte or something, it's even less, so it's kind of crazy how much they cranked into this game. And if you beat the third level, you unlock the museum, which is, it displays an enemy, and you can basically steal that ability. And the fourth stage takes place in a tree house, and you fight a polar bear, and you get his ability if you defeat him, called Freeze, and it's also a screen nuke. Well, not a screen nuke exactly. You turn enemies into ice blocks, and you can use the ice blocks as projectiles. And then there's the boss, the final boss of this world, which is the Whisping Woods, and it's basically a big tree with ice. And yeah, he throws apples at you, or apples falls down, and you basically spit them at him. So I think he actually cries in the end. It's like, why do you want to hurt this poor tree? You know, it didn't do you any harm. He's just minding his own business. So the second world is called Ice Cream Island, and it introduced one of my favorite power-ups, the Parasol ability. And it's basically like the sword. You can hit enemies with it, and you can also, when you fall off like a ledge or something, you can float down, and it has like a cute animation to it. And it also works as like a protection from coconuts that fall from the palm trees, which I thought was like mind-blowing. Yeah, I don't know, I like the idea. Once you beat that level, there's the egg catching game, and I didn't really understand, like, one of the, I think it's the last boss, King DDD, he throws bombs. This is like a boxing ring, if I remember correctly. He throws bombs and eggs, and you're supposed to catch the eggs in your mouth, and the bombs you're supposed to take cover from. So you press the A button to open up your mouth or whatever, and if you release it, you just duck for cover or whatever. So at the end of the game, he spits out some chicks, like small chickens that they hatch in his mouth, and I thought it was really weird. I was like, what? this game, man. Lots of funny mini games. And the third stage introduced some new abilities that was actually in the Smash Bros games. Kirby turns into a rock, so just like the game Smash Bros. And then if you beat one of the boss, like the mini bosses, you get the ability called Mic, and it's a screen nuke. Kirby just screams into a mic and everything explodes around him, like a rock star or something. I don't know. And the laser ability, and there's really cool, yeah. And the final boss on this stage is Mr. Shiny and Mr. Bright, and it's basically the sun and moon, and you beat them down, basically. I really like the tone of the game. It's like super childish and cute and everything. I like this game. I just saying that. And the fourth world is Grape Garden. You get the ball ability, and the final boss here is the Krakow Eye. It's like a cloud with like an eye in it, and it shoots lightning everywhere. The fifth world is Yogurt Yard. The boss is basically a heavy mole. The sixth world is called Orange Ocean, and the boss is Meta Knight from the newest Smash game. Really cool. The seventh world is Rainbow Resort, and the boss here is basically King DDD. And the eighth and final chapter or world is the Fountain of Dreams, and this boss is Nightmare. You obtain the Star Rod and you just go full action blazing. It's like if the game suddenly went on crack or something, but this boss is no joke. It basically turns into a side scroller, shoot him. Yeah, but it's really cool. So gameplay. Clear all the levels, all 8 of them, and beat Nightmare in the end with the Star Rod. Control. The A button jumps, the B button sucks, and if you press B and down, you do like a slide dash, like a bit like what Mega Man does in the Mega Man games. Select loses the ability they obtain from sucking enemies up if you want to change them for some reason or just want to return to your normal form. The D-pad moves the character. If you press down on the D-pad, you basically duck, and if you press up, you fly. And I forgot to mention this, but I think Kirby can fly infinite. So you can basically fly over a stage and there's no problem. Graphics. Super sweet and cute and charming. As I said before, it's kind of amazing how much they cramped into one of these cartridges, considering the size of it. Sound and music. Hiroki Suga, Jun Ishikana made the music for this game, and it's really nice, happy tunes all the way through. And it has this overly happy kind of feel to it. This game makes you feel happy, and I'm amazed I didn't pick it up earlier. It's a really good game. Easter eggs, secret, and glitches. I saw a tool-assisted speedrun on this it's about 34 minutes or so, and it's crazy how they do this stuff. So they do a crazy thing in the beginning. He sucks up 3 enemies at the same time, and he obtains the UFO upgrade at once. I don't know if it's like a glitch or something, but it's really cool, and he just breezes through the whole game, or the computer, the tool assistant software. As I mentioned before, at the first stage you can obtain the UFO ability below the waterfall, one of the rocks there. It's a nice little thing, the hidden, there are plenty of hidden secrets and doorways that aren't seen normally. You just press up and you might just find one. So, it's real cool. I need to stop saying cool. In conclusion, I wrote yes. So this game is not hard. It's just fun to play. On the negative side, the game throws a lot of things at you, but there's a lot of abilities and you don't really know what each ability does. But the learning curve isn't that steep anyway. So also, I forgot to mention this also, but the guy who actually made the Smash Bros game, Sakurai, Kirby was one of his first creations, I believe. So it's really cool how you can see him working on something and it's gold, and he continued to work on something else and it becomes gold as well. So there's some genius people behind, or person in this case, behind this kind of game. And it's interesting how far he actually has come. or as far as he actually has gotten. So anyway, thanks for listening and or watching, and take care.